In this video, we will go over this particular screen except for the account management, which will be a separate video. So your starting point here, if you're going to set up a user login and password, then you'll want to check this to yes, so that when you open up Accubase, it requires your user login and password. You would not want to check this to yes until you've actually set up a user login and password. This is also where you set up which screen you would like to open to. Typically, it will be Patients or Calendar. And you can also check this little box and the dashboard when then launch. You can test it out and see if that's interesting to you to have or not. Then we have our screen size here. You can decide, for me, the appropriate screen size right now is 100, but you can play around with this and choose different screen size and then click on the click to adjust button to see what that looks like and see if you prefer that to the default 100. The HIPAA log file. If you're going to have lots of people using the database and everybody has their own user login, you might want to turn this on so that you know who is adding or deleting records if you need to. It is a little bit cumbersome because it will request that you make note of what you're doing when you're deleting or adding records. If you're a single practitioner, you probably would want to leave it off. Backing up. When you close Accubase, you'll see a little message popping up asking if you'd like to back up your database. If you choose to do so, it will make a copy of your current file into a backup folder that's internal to your Accubase folder. It will still also pop up a little message reminding you to make an external backup to protect yourself in case your computer crashes. But this internal backup can be useful. Let's say you delete something by accident and this is maybe first thing in the morning and you had a backup the night before that was an internal backup, you can just easily go back to that and revert to the file that was correct before you deleted this record by accident. I would probably suggest that if something like that happens that you notify us immediately so that we can help you retrieve that. In any case, this backup message usually pops up as you're closing the database, but throughout the day, without having to close the database, you can also back up your file internally simply by clicking on this backup button, and it will then make a copy, the latest copy of this file inside of that backup folder. And then finally, the license button here. This is simply going to be a yearly thing. When you need to renew your Accubase license, you'll be getting an email from us reminding you that it's time to renew your Accubase license. When you receive your new license, click on this license button, click on update, delete the number that's here and replace it with the new number. And then finally, at the very bottom here, if you are choosing to have a user login and password, this is where you can log in. If you have multiple user login, let's say you have two different office manager in your office, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and they have different user login, then they can just click on this button to enter the database with their own user login. And as I mentioned, there will be a separate video for the account management part of this area.